So for this, let's start with, creating a framework for multiple brands, channels, and countries. So what's interesting, right? Like if you work with multiple countries or multiple channels, you might wonder, like, how do we keep overview of that? And I think the answer is really to create a tagging system and then really start using it well. Because what you can then do, are a few things. For example, here we have a example board with, there's like a summary macro journey that spans across all of the different stages. So this journey covers, I get triggered, I start looking around, and I can compare offers. And that's something we often see, companies that create like one sort of high level macro journey that's maybe even channel agnostic. So it covers all the channels at once. It just gives it the basic overview of those steps. And then you might actually have a lot of like micro journeys that cover specific parts. For example, I compare offers, you might have a little flow that's comparing offers online, or maybe doing a self-scan online, or maybe you have comparing offers in the chat, or even like in your retail lane, you actually might have comparing offers in the store, where you get helped by an employee there. So those are all different ways to compare offers. And so they're all different micro journeys that explain those processes. And, to keep overview of this, you might also be wondering, like, well, for example, which of these journeys have we already used in our German countries, for example, which ones are live there? Well, for example, what you can do then is go to country and just select Germany. And go like, oh yeah, okay. So of course, the macro journey, that sort of covers everything. But you see, in Germany, you're already able to compare offers online, for example. And that's something that you can use it for. Or you might just be wondering, hey, what journeys relate to the app? So do the self-check online. That's something that we have there. Or which ones apply to the website? Oh yeah, these. So that really helps you to sort of filter out all those different views and show you, what have we already mapped and what's already there and what is not yet. So you might also be wondering, for example, what brands are using what, have implemented what journeys already. So also there you can actually go to, for example, the premium brand is, I look around for a new subscription online. Maybe that's a premium option that's only available for premium users, for example. So that way you can also tag it. And that's just an interesting way to show that. And a use case that we see a lot as well. Anything you want to add there, Jochem?
I think this is good. I mean, like, mind-blowing stuff sometimes, like to set this up, but once it goes and is running, actually, I see a lot of people find it easy to like, oh yeah, okay, so we need to create these journeys and set a bunch of tags so that it's actually into the system. I mean, we even see, and that's maybe an interesting side note, is like, here you see like part of a journey framework, right? The awareness stage of people becoming aware that they might need a mobile subscription. I assume that's what we're seeing here.
Yep.
The question sometimes is like, okay, so not all journeys are being like created equally or already mapped out or already known even. So what we see is people creating processes around like, when does a journey get accepted in the framework? And there you can also be a little innovative, say like, okay, it needs to have these properties set up, because then it can be rolled up to the bigger framework, and that can be like a little rule you have in your company. So I don't know if you've seen some of the customers you work with, Kaspar, do this already, but I find it very useful for people to think about it that way.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend, like, we also see like two uses, we see a lot of customers that just create their own journeys, their own boards to play around with and stuff. But then when they add it to the official framework that everyone's using as their reference, that's when I would really advise to only put journeys in there that are also really tagged well. And that also means, of course, I mean, it's something I'll explain later a bit, but it also means that you'll have to communicate, your tagging system, and at least explain it a little bit, because it's definitely something that you have to inform people about, like, hey, when you do this, think about those tags. But if everyone does that, it becomes super useful, as some of the examples that I'll go into more will show you. Maybe to focus this one, moving on. Of course, this doesn't only apply to the framework, right? This allows you to make different cross sections of your framework, as I just showed, based on channels or brands or countries, for example. But those same tags, because they're global tags, they also apply to all the other things that we create. So, for example, if we want to look at, hey, what opportunities have we mapped, for let's say calling, or maybe in store, improve information improve information overview, for example. That's good to know. If you want to focus, if you're someone that's just focusing on WhatsApp or one of the specific channels or one of the specific countries, you can really use that to organize all the different things and just create those filtered overviews that you need. For example, if you're working in Netherlands, you don't really care about the opportunities for Germany. You just want to know, what's relevant for me in the Netherlands. Well, using those tags, you can easily create those different types of overviews, which makes the same framework really useful for all different countries, all different channels, all that